Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we'll check fresh release from Modelcollect. And as you can see, that's a 1/72 scale Russian 9K728 Iskander-K, which is actually a chassis for cruise missile. And as I said before, it is molded in typical Modelcollect scale. It's 1/72 scale. As you can see, we have this beautiful box art on the front. Here you can see comparison with my hand. It's a typical box size for truck kits from Modelcollect. And what we have on the sides is also typical information about the manufacturer and some safety devices in several languages. So that's the top opening box. And here's what we have inside. So as you can see, tires are right on the top. And then we have mix of different sprues, but let's begin with tires. Those are typical vinyl parts. I think you've already seen them in other Modelcollect truck kits. And here you can see them. Even though these are not plastic offerings, they're still decent, and as you can see, they feature detailing on the wall sides. So it should be quite an interesting addition to the truck in 1/72 scale. Now let's jump to plastic sprues. Those are packed into the same plastic bag, and straight away I can hear that some parts are broken off the sprues. And I'm not sure which ones, so just give me a second. Actually, once again, I'm quite interested why Modelcollect decided to use sealed bags instead of resealable ones. I mean, sealed ones should be easier to work with. And they're more attractive for modelers, of course, but we have what we have. So here we have front cap. This one is molded as one piece part, as you can see. Of course, doors are separate, all glasses are separate, and we have quite nice roof detailing, which should be added or improved with additional parts which are molded separately. Then we have narrow frame with different external elements. Here you can see them. Note the thin parts, they might be tricky to separate, so take your time while removing them off the sprue. Separate frames are dedicated to missiles, and there are actually 3 of them, so I'm removing them all. Here we have them. So those are the starting tubes, and this is an actual missile. So I guess it will be possible to assemble a diorama with a missile flying out of the truck, but it will be up to you what you implement on your model. And of course, inside there are no position pins, so you have to carefully align these elements together, because otherwise it might be tricky to connect them and avoid any possible gaps. Then we have 2 absolutely identical frames. Those ones are dedicated to suspension parts. Also here we have seats for the front cap, and of course wheel rims here. As you can see, those are quite nice. Don't forget that this is a 1/72 scale kit, and still those are quite detailed, and I can show you the size. They're smaller than my fingertip, and that's quite impressive quality, I would say. But I mean, if you saw Modelcollect kits before, it won't surprise you. Next we have another sprue with different external elements. Separate small frame is dedicated to launch tube covers, and note that they're detailed both inside and outside, as you can see. So that's quite a nice addition. And then we have huge frames which are carrying different external body parts. Now let's zoom out. So here, of course, we have all necessary panels for the rear section of the truck, as well as the main platform for this part of the MZKT. And again, inside there are no position tabs whatsoever, so you'll have to be careful while working on those parts, because otherwise it might be tricky to get a proper fit between those panels. But I hope that Modelcollect will done a proper work, and we would have a nice fitment with these parts. And last gray plastic sprue is dedicated to mainframe parts, engine and transmission parts. Also here we have the front mask for the cap. Even steering wheel is molded here, as well as towing cable and some of the suspension elements, as I said before. Fuel tanks are also here. And all those parts are molded in 1/72 scale, so it's also quite impressive. But note that suspension now is a bit simplified in comparison with what we saw before, and some modelers might say that it's actually nice, but of course opinions are different, so it will be up to you if you are happy or not with such change. Next we have separate plastic bag which is not sealed. This one is dedicated to transparent parts. Of course here we have glasses for the front cap, and the only thing you will have to consider or keep in mind that there are no masks included into this kit, so you will have to cut masks by yourself, because otherwise it might be tricky to get a nice paint work. Separate plastic bag is dedicated to PE thread and decals sheet. Here we have decals, and here we have PE thread. I will zoom in so that you can see. As you can see, PE thread will come handy for external and some of the cap elements. For example, here we have screen wipers, and decal sheet is quite generic for Russian trucks from Modelcollect, so nothing special here, but at least we have full number registry and random number plates. Here we have typical assembly manual. As you can see, it is printed in form of this nice brochure. Of course, on the first page we have short history note in English language. Here is the parts map. Here we have assembly process starting with the main chassis and suspension elements. Then we continue with engine and transmission, attach wheels, attach PE parts, front cap, missile launcher, and straight away I can see the misspelling. Actually, I can even show you so that we can have a laugh together. So it's launcher. Well, at least military men won't be hungry. And next we assemble all this together. In total we will have to perform 28 steps. And here we have marking guide from Amamic, and I guess no, only one marking option. So you will have to source any different markings by yourself. Well, at least decals include full number registry. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, don't forget to write your opinion here in the comment section below. Also there in the video description you can find the link to the review article. So if you are interested in detailed photos of this kit, just click it and read full review article. And of course, if you want to help us, you like this video, you want to see more, just press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will help us greatly and I will appreciate it too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video review. Bye!